Hello and welcome to my very first video. So what I've decided to do is do a reading from a book which is called Writing a Dissertation for Dummies. Now the reason I've chosen this book is because I am in the middle, and by middle I mean nowhere near the middle, of my dissertation, and so I thought it probably will be boring enough for you to fall asleep to. In fact, I know it would make me fall asleep as well. So, this book is written by Dr. Carrie Winstanley. So, we begin with the introduction. If you're reading this, you're either already a student starting to prepare for your final year project, or someone planning to study and wondering what's entailed. Whatever your motivation, you'll find this book gives you answers to the questions you have, and to plenty of questions you didn't realise you wanted to ask. The dissertation is the most significant piece of work most students undertake on their degree course. It's worth more than any other aspect. It has more time assigned to it, and it's often the only time when you have the opportunity for sustained one-to-one support from your academic tutor. You should do all you can to make the most of the possibilities afforded to you in undertaking a dissertation. This book helps you to maximise the positive aspects of the experience. You can pick up tips and find out about common pitfalls, as well as having a rich source of help and support for your writing and research. Before you read further, take a moment to consider that congratulations are in order. If you're writing a social science dissertation, you're probably in the third or final year of your degree course. On most degree courses, a dissertation or final year project is obligatory. You can't register for such modules unless you successfully completed previous coursework, essays, exams, presentations, portfolios, and many other requirements. You are already a success story. However, there is still a long way to go. A dissertation is an exciting, challenging, rewarding, and often wonderful experience. Simultaneously, it's also likely to be exhausting, frustrating, time-consuming, and irritating. You need to maximise the positive and minimise the negative, and that's where this book can really help. This book is presented in an accessible way through straightforward writing and a user-friendly format. To make sense of the book, you don't need to read it from start to finish. In fact, you don't even need to read it in order. It's a reference for you to dip into as and when you need advice or help. It covers the usual empirical dissertations with all you'll need about research methods and analysis, but it also helps you if you're planning a library-based theoretical thesis. Each chapter covers the basics you'll need and also provides further details and examples that you can skim over if you're pushed for time. I also flag up points in the book where you can cross-reference to different chapters so that you can read the book thematically with ease. For ease of navigation, I use the following conventions. Italic is used for emphasis, to highlight new words and terms which text defines. Bold text is used to indicate keywords in bulleted lists. Monofont is used for internet addresses. Sidebars, the shaded grey boxes you see from time to time, point out information which might come in handy but doesn't qualify as essential reading. If you're undertaking an empirical work or dissertation, you can skip over the sections that deal with non-empirical work and vice versa. If anything arises where a cross-reference is helpful, I have directed you to it in the text. Here and there I've included anecdotes and examples that are interesting, but not in the least bit essential to your dissertation journey. They're presented in grey shaded boxes, sidebars, and you can leave them out without worrying that you've missed something essential. I wrote this book with social science students in mind. As I was writing this book, I had flashbacks to conversations and supervisions with countless students and colleagues over the years. As I worked on each page, I was thinking about students, just like the ones I've supervised over the years, and just like those I'm working with now, and just like those I'll work with in the future. There's no template for these students. They come from different backgrounds, have varied interests, diverse ideas, unique constellations of skills, their own distinctive approaches to their work. I have made a few basic assumptions about you, though. This book is for you if you are already on a degree course or embarking on one, are committed to completing your dissertation, have already written some essays, are studying some aspects of social science, want to improve your grades. By definition, you have to be pretty on the ball to be doing a degree, usually. This book is for you if you'd like some help getting to grips with what's expected of you. This book has 6 parts, mostly about the process of dissertation, with a few about broader concerns such as social science in general, or your well-being along the way. Here's a summary of each section to help you navigate your way around dissertations for dummies. You need to be clear about which subjects come under the umbrella heading of the social sciences, and you'll also need to be sure that you understand the different types of long essays and research projects that are called dissertations. This first part of the book will help you locate your work within the discipline of social science and set you up on the path to a useful and realistic research question to form the basis of your dissertation. In order to get the most out of this project, you need to be very clear about what exactly is expected. This part of the book will help you prepare effectively and will save you time and grief once the project is underway. Planning thoroughly means you'll be more organised and won't miss anything vital. This section also gives you strategies for reading and taking notes. Now you are clear about your research question, you need to get on with gathering the data to answer your question. This part of the book helps you to get to grips with actually starting to write up your notes. It will also help you gather the required data now that you have a clearer focus and you know what you're looking for, both in libraries and through collecting your own experimental data. It also helps you keep an overview of the dissertation process as a whole. Your data is collected and analysed, or your arguments are delineated and your references are stacking up nicely. This part helps you get the piles of ideas to a clear set of arguments, rounded off with a strong conclusion, all fully referenced and neatly presented. There is a glimmer of light at the end of the dissertation tunnel. Writing a dissertation is an endurance test. You will need stamina to sustain your interest and determination, giving some attention to your work habits sets of 10s provide you with quick tips and warnings. You'll see how to avoid tripping up on the more commonly found obstacles, reminders of what you need to include, and ultimately the definitive list of final advice to ensure you're all done and dusted to the satisfaction of your eagle-eyed examiners. Part 1. Understanding what a dissertation is. And there's a picture here with the supervisor and the student with all the information. This looks very familiar. I wonder if you could spare a minute to look over my dissertation and just check I've not done too much. Sorting out the basics of a dissertation. Chances are you've picked up this book because you're embarking on a dissertation or a similar final year project. This implies that you've successfully completed previous essays and exams, and probably even presentations and portfolios as well. So you're already a successful student, and this book will help you build on your strengths whilst identifying ways to improve how you study. If you're still quite far off from getting to your final year, thinking about it now is a great start. Thorough preparation is going to help you succeed. A dissertation is just an important sounding name for a long essay based on your own research. Writing a dissertation is an exciting, challenging, rewarding, and often wonderful experience. At the same time, it can be exhausting, time-consuming, frustrating, and exasperating. Take heart. In this book, I set out to tell you the ins and outs of writing a dissertation and give you all the help you need to make sure your dissertation is a success. What is social science exactly? Broadly, the social sciences look at the state of society and the people that make up societies. By now, you're sure to have discovered that the social sciences cover an enormously wide range of subjects. Deciding what counts as social science is an ongoing area for debate, a topic that's great for a dissertation in itself. For clarity, in this book, I'm going to rely on the Economic and Social Research Council definition of social sciences. The ESRC is the main government funding council for research in social science in England and Wales, and so their ideas have currency. In the section pinpointing your field of study later in the chapter, you can find a description of each of the areas the ESRC considers makes up the social sciences. Here's a mini A to Z rundown of the main social science disciplines, a refresher course that's hopefully going to get your dissertation juices flowing. If the subject you're studying is related to any of the disciplines in the list, with luck, the book is going to be spot on for your dissertation. Throughout this book, I use examples from the more commonly studied social science subjects, such as education and sociology, but the ideas apply equally to other sub-disciplines of the social sciences, like social linguistics, journalism, international relations, criminology, and gender studies. These fields usually fall under a broader discipline, so general studies form part of sociology, while international relations constitute part of political science. Anthropology is the scientific study of human beings and their way of life. The word anthropology comes from the Greek anthropos, meaning a human being or person. The main research method in the science of anthropology is ethnography, which involves collecting raw data through field work and reviewing the data to collect the whole picture of the society being studied and linking the data to other areas such as archaeology, biology, linguistics, humanities. Economics. The science of economics analyses and describes how wealth is produced, distributed and consumed. Economists use current thinking backed up by data to find ways of balancing people's economic needs with the way the needs are going to be financed. The word economics comes from the Greek word oikos, meaning family or household, and nomos, meaning custom or law. Generally, economics is split into two branches: the study of individual households, companies, industries, and commodities, and the study of economics on a large scale, such as national income and international trade. Over the last 20 years, the methods and reasoning underpinning economics are being applied to other social issues. For example, how the economic principles of cause and effect, which tries to explain how the economy is affecting people's behaviour in areas such as businesses, families and relationships. Economics also takes in green economics, Marxist ideas, socialism, globalism, institutional economics, and economic sociology. Despite the many different areas that economics embraces, the science is above all concerned with getting value for money by way of human effort or labour. Education is the science of teaching and learning. Educational science covers both theoretical and applied research and draws on a multitude of disciplines, as well as taking into account other factors affecting learning: emotional, social, psychological, philosophical, historical, and the physical setting. Hailing from the Latin verb educare, to educate, meaning to draw out, education concerns acquiring knowledge and skills and nurturing talents, potential abilities to give the individual the opportunity of leading a full life and making a positive contribution to society. Much educational research is linked to schooling and the development of children and adolescents. But education isn't just confined to these areas. Educationalists claim that pre-birth experiences affect education and educational opportunity, and studies include a cradle-to-the-grave approach. Informal education through leisure activities is also getting more attention, and educational practice, such as testing and examinations, are continually being questioned, evaluated and explored. Geography, human. Geography is made up of 3 sub-disciplines: human geography, people's relationships with the built environment; physical geography, the natural environment; and environmental geography, the interaction between people and their physical environment. Practical applications of geography include urban planning, transportation and studying the built environment. Geographers use a range of data, including aerial photography and statistics in their research. Some geographers consider geography as a pure science, which is why you find that physical geography is separated from human geography in some universes. History. History is more often thought of as being part of the humanities than of the social sciences. In the UK, history research is funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council. The study of history particularly focuses on both continuity and change, and mostly considers the development of humanity as continuous, providing a narrative of past events. Postmodernist theory is challenging the idea of continuity, but for most undergraduate dissertations, taking the more traditional approach of continuity still holds good. The main reason for including the study of history in the social sciences is backed up by the research methods being used when researching history, which includes using primary sources, secondary sources, and other evidence. Data comes in the form of documents, public records, images, artifacts, and personal memoirs. Law. Law is all about being governed by established legal systems. The law plays an important and significant part in society, which is why the law is so important to social sciences. Taking a broader view, the law is part of international relations and can be more difficult to enforce. International law is more a study of what's ethically acceptable and of finding ways of using legal systems to work for the good of the majority. The study of law links closely with political science, economics, and philosophy, blurring the boundaries between the humanities and the social sciences when it comes to deciding which academic discipline law fits into best. Linguistics. The science of linguistics deals with language and includes both cognitive and social aspects of the use of language. Linguistics is divided into related subdivisions: phonetics and phonology, deals with pronunciation and speech production. Neurolinguistics explores the role of the brain in language development and the processing and storage of language in the brain, the investigation of diseases or abnormalities, and recovery from injuries and emotional shock. Syntax concerns the rules governing sentence structure. Semantics relates to the meanings of words. Other social science subjects such as history and anthropology include evolution and the origins of language, and psychology looks at emotional and cognitive aspects to understanding and observing human language. Political science. Political science is the theory and practice of government and politics, which involves exploring and analysing political systems and political behaviour. The study of political science includes international relations and law, foreign policy, comparative politics, and studies of superpowers. At national levels, political science includes civics, the notion of participation and democracy, political development, public administration and law, justice and public policy. When studying political science, social science methods are frequently used: surveys, statistical analysis, case studies, and building conceptual models for exploring ideas. Primary sources, historical documents, official records, are used, as well as secondary sources like journal articles and government data. Psychology, social. Psychology is the study of the mind and human behaviour, and is both a research and an applied discipline. Having knowledge of how people behave is used when treating mental illness and helping people cope with problems occurring in their daily lives. Close links exist between psychology and other fields such as neuroscience, biology and sociology, and specialisms including social psychology, neuropsychology, clinical psychology, and educational psychology. Sociology. Sociologists study the origin, development, structure, and functioning of society, and are interested in how society is organised, both on a micro and macro levels. Sociology is a relatively new academic discipline, only reaching back to the early 19th century. Since then, researchers and commentators have created a body of social theory and apply social science research methods to the discipline. Sociology has specialist areas such as criminology, the study of deviant and criminal behaviour, demography, population studies, gender and race studies, and issues to do with socio-economic status. Sociology provides information about patterns of behaviour across society, influencing policy making. Social work. Social workers are involved in the public sector, supporting individuals and families, communities and groups, and helping people to deal with their social problems. The aim of social work is to make sure that social justice is being applied and to improve the lives of those people less able to make their needs and wishes known. Social workers are committed to enhancing the quality of life for all members of society by applying social theory and research findings to the everyday lives of people at every level of society. All aspects of social science are included in social work. Social workers build up specialist knowledge from evidence they've collected using social science research methods, such as collecting empirical data through surveys, studying individuals through case studies, and using qualitative information. Other areas of social science. There may also be other areas of the social sciences that you may like to think about. Media studies involves the analysis of images, sounds, and text you get via the media, TV, radio, newspapers, and so on. Developmental studies is about the developing world. Information science looks at systems and methods of storing and retrieving information. Sociobiology attempts to prove that social behaviour has a genetic basis, influencing human development. Pinpointing your field of study. If you didn't come across the subject you're studying in the A to Z list, a useful source for finding your subject is the ESRC website, which describes social science in a way that you may find more helpful than a listing of subjects. Social science is a wide-ranging discipline. For example, the kinds of jobs that social science students go on to do include teaching, policing, business, social work, healthcare, local government, urban planning, and many more. Seeing what makes social science a distinct discipline. Although the social sciences include so many different disciplines, what they all have in common is that they address the concerns of society and of people. As a result, many of the disciplines adopt similar theories and research methods. The overlap of disciplines can be subtle or overt. Your reading and your degree course has likely been helping you make sense of the many subject areas in the social sciences and the theories and research methods that are being used. In Table 1.1, you can see a tiny sample of the kinds of social science questions you may meet, but which are frequently presented in different forms. I've also noted some of the related theoretical standpoints and a brief summary of the research methods. You can see that there. So we have question, what is knowledge? The theory is a positive theory. The summary is pursuing scientific method, reveals all true knowledge. In the question, how is power constructed? Theory, conflict theory, summary, change and order are arise from social groups versus individuals struggling to maximise power. Question: what is society? The theory is cultural pluralism, multiculturalism. The summary: coexistence of different cultures within the same area. Question: how can we decide what is the right course of action? The theory is utilitarianism. Summary: decisions based on what is best for the greatest number of people. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'll carry on with that in another video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me any hints or